Hey everybody, I haven't made a YouTube video in a long time, but I got to looking on YouTube at how a couple folks were making some Halloween videos showing off a lot of their horror comics, and I'm not the biggest horror comic collector, although there are some things I do really dig, and I just want to kind of show off my modest collection. I'm beginning to realize as I've been watching a lot of videos around YouTube that I have a very small collection compared to a lot of folks. I'm probably up somewhere around 600, close to 750 maybe comics, somewhere in that range. About three good long boxes full, but nothing compared to a lot of the other guys here. And it could be because I'm picky. It could be because sometimes I'm really cheap and I don't really snag purchases when I need to. But I'm trying to buy more, and hopefully I'll start posting more videos here real soon. But here's just a good selection of a lot of my horror comics. First thing I've got here that I want to show you guys is Carney. Carney was a miniseries that was put out by IDW back, I think, around 2005, and it was like a four-issue miniseries. And Ben Templesmith did all the covers, and as you can imagine, it's a story following a carnival freak show, and it's pretty rough. The I don't know who was doing the art on the inside, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. My wife kind of enjoyed it back then, but I'm not really digging it too much right now. It's kind of in my looking to sell pile right now. Four issues, awesome cover art by Ben Templesmith though. Alright, and then I've got Swamp Thing, and I know that some people may not necessarily consider Swamp Thing to be horror related, but this issue for me is probably my favorite Alan Moore Swamp Thing issue ever, 31, when he actually travels back through hell to bring his girlfriend back. It's a really cool story. Alan Moore is just a great writer, one of my favorites. Got a ton of Weird War Tales. I do like the Weird War Tales books. I just think they're great, easy, fun stories to read. I've got a pretty good collection here. This one you've seen in one of my other videos before, I'm sure. It's my favorite cover. It's my favorite book of Weird War Tales. The cover is actually an homage by Joe Kubert to Neil Adams. The soldier being hanged on the cover, his name is N. Adams, so it's actually an homage to Neil Adams back in the 70s, which is really cool. This is issue 5. I've got issue 20 here, that deals with some voodoo. Issue 24, which is a classic cover, a classic Bronze Age cover. Cool thing about these covers during this time, if you didn't know it, the Comics Code basically did away with any sort of horror homage cover that could depict a skeleton. Well, sometime during like the late 60s, early 70s, the Comics Code was loosened up a little bit, and they started to allow skeleton covers. And you'll see in my books and in a lot of other books during the 70s, you see a whole ton of skeleton covers. This is a classic one here. Great stories too. See, another skeleton cover from Weird War Tales. This is issue 31. This one is issue 37. Another skeleton on the cover. The Reaper on this one. This is issue 71. Oh, great story here. This is issue 80. This is a story of when they think they're bringing back Hitler, but in reality it's actually one of Hitler's doppelgangers. It's a great story. And then finally issue 98. Oh, well, okay, this isn't a horror cover. These aren't horror books. I was actually just rebagging these. This is 606 and 607 from the current Amazing Spider-Man run. Actually, these are really hard to find right now. If you look on eBay, they're really hard to find. They're cool stories. Nothing to do with horror stuff, but Peter Parker gets it on with Black Cat in these books. Really cool. Probably the most popular Vertigo book right now that I hear people talking about, beyond the fact that Scalped is about to finish, is American Vampire. I got the first issue of it. I like the fact that Stephen King was kind of involved with it. Really cool story. Haven't really picked up any more since then though, but I'm hanging on to this one because I know it's getting popular. One of my House of Mysteries. This one again shows another skeleton on the cover. I bought it just for that reason. I just thought it was a really cool cover. Dracula. This is the Mike Mignola Dracula that Topps Comics put out back in the I think 94. This one's actually still in the bag and still has the cards with it. And then I've got all 6 copies of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series that Wildstorm put out back in 2005. I'm a huge TCM fan. It was the first horror movie I ever saw when I was a kid, and um, I just always stuck to it. There's 4. There's 5. Actually, it wasn't a half bad story either. And then the last issue was 6. And we've got Dr. Giggles. I always liked Dr. Giggles' movie when I was a kid, and I really want to pick up issue 2 of this little mini-series that Dark Horse put out a long time ago. I bought this one from Mile High several years back. I think this was in one of my videos before. Vengeance of Vampirella. This is issue 2. I bought this one back when it first came out. Vampy and the bad girls during that time, like Lady Death and Lady Rawhide, all those characters were really popular back then. When I bought this, one was sold out and it was like a $20 comic, and I think I paid like $5 for this one back in '94 when I was like 14. And now you can find this one in dollar bins everywhere. Now we're getting into some of my favorite stuff. I've shown this in a video before. My wife and I, if you have Netflix, my wife and I watch about 2 or 3 episodes of the old Dark Shadows soap opera every night. We love it, and I really love the old comics. I'm actually looking at getting a couple lots off eBay right now as we speak. I just love the picture covers. The photo covers are the best for me. The stories aren't really that great, but it's still, I have to support. A franchise that I really, really like. I'm looking forward to seeing the new movie that Johnny Depp's starring in later. I know Dead Man isn't necessarily considered to be horror related, but I did want to show this one. This is issue 207 of Strange Adventures. This is the 3rd appearance of Dead Man. Classic cover from way back when, done by Neil Adams. Good stuff. And then here's probably my best and finest horror book. This is actually Hana Fear, number 19, from 1954. This is the original. This is not the EC reprint at all. Bought this off of eBay about 5 or 6 years ago. I was the highest bidder on it, and I got it for next to nothing. When it came in, it had a $35 price tag on it, so the guy who was selling it in his shop was trying to get $35 out of it, and I didn't pay anything near that. Classic double decapitation cover. Good stuff. Great stories that really stood up to the test of time compared to other things that were out during that time. But anyway, guys, that's all I've got for my horror comics. Hopefully I'll be posting some more books here real soon. One thing I do want to say is that a lot of people have been following me and been saying things about the Mile High books I've got listed. Haven't bought anything from Mile High since that last video was posted showing my Mile High buys. Probably not going to be doing any more business from them. I'm buying a lot of my comics now through ComicCollectorLive.com and all the dealers there, and also from the Collector Society message boards, the CGC message boards. There's a lot of good deals to be had there because you're dealing directly with dealers. So anyway, guys, we'll be seeing you soon.